know what it is about my makeup look today, but I really like it. Hello, welcome back to Oceanic Oracle. My name is Ari. Today I'm here to tell you about the books I'd like to read in July. I'm going to be taking part in 2 readathons this month. One of them is called the Olympic Games, and it's a readathon inspired by Percy Jackson. I'll link the announcement video in the description box. I'll also be taking part in the Myth Taker readathon, so this year it's the Path or Pantheon readathon. But all of these books overlap with the prompts that I've been given, so if you see me looking down this way, I'm looking at the prompts and checking that I've said things correctly. Now, before I actually start this, I thought I'd give you a description of both readathons. Both links will be in the description if you want to participate. You don't have to. Both of these readathons are related to mythology, so if you want a broader mythological aspect, the Path or Pantheon readathon is for you. You don't just have the same Greek or Roman pantheon. You have, I believe they have Norse, they have Egyptian in there as well, the Japanese pantheon, and I cannot remember the last one. Aside from those pantheons, which all have prompts within themselves, you can also choose to go down paths. So you have the path of wisdom, the path of war, the path of beauty, etc. For that readathon, I will be going down the path of beauty because I'm beautiful. No, just kidding. Because these books overlap with the prompts that I have for the Olympic Games readathon, so it just worked out for me. Now, the Olympic Games readathon, as I mentioned, is a readathon inspired by Percy Jackson. I believe this is their 2nd year doing it. I didn't know about it last year, so I'm extremely excited for it. You choose a team based on your godly parent, so in the announcement video there's a link to a quiz you can take to get your godly parent. My godly parent, as always, is Poseidon, because with the life I've had and my career, I think it'd be pretty hard for me to be a child of any other god in the Percy Jackson universe. Like, I'm a marine biologist. I live by the sea. Like, I love the ocean. It just works. So I have 5 books here. I'll probably read more throughout the month because in the Olympic Games readathon in particular, you actually get bonus points if you read all of them. The only thing with that readathon is you cannot double up on books, so each book has to represent one prompt, so there's no, you can combine all of these, you can't. In the Olympic Games, you have to read 5 books in order to pass, but if you don't, then that's fine. Read at your own speed. I will probably be reading more. I may do a pantheon, who knows? It's just fun. That's why I like about readathons, and it makes me want to read more. Let's start talking about the books I hope to read. So, as a part of the Poseidon Cabin, my first prompt is to read a book with a blue cover. I'm going to be reading The Cornish Cream Tea Summer. This is honestly one of the perfect books for me to read. This is the 2nd book in the Cornish Cream Tea Bus series. This is the first book. These are just fun romances. The main character, I believe, is in her late 20s. She, in this first book, the main character inherits a tour bus from her uncle who's just died, and she transforms it into a Cornish Cream Tea Bus and tries to get jobs working as a food truck. When that sort of fails, she goes down to take a break from her job at a cafe and goes to visit her best friend in Porthglowo in Cornwall. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly because my Cornish is not great, but it's just a lot of fun. And I had such a fun time reading this book last year, and I've read this book already, and I just feel like this is the perfect time to reread it over the summer. In this book, we follow the main character in this book's cousin, Delilah. She comes down to visit her cousin and starts helping in the Cornish Cream Tea Bus, and they get hired to work on a movie set. It's just a nice fluffy romance. It was fun when I read it, and I'm looking forward to picking it up again. For the Path or Pantheon readathon, this fits the Aphrodite prompt, which is a book that features a romance. Prompt number 2. Poseidon's son Percy is a talented swordsman. Read a book where the main character uses a sword. So I'm going to be reading Magnus Chase and the Sword of Summer. I haven't picked this up since it first came out in 2015. From what I can remember, I really enjoyed reading it, and I'm looking forward to picking it back up again. This is about Magnus Chase, who is Annabeth from the Percy Jackson series cousin. He ends up dying and he gets sent to Valhalla. So his father is actually a Norse god, and the gods of Asgard are preparing for a war that's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to picking it up. Now for Path or Pantheon, this book fits the prompt for Freya, which works even better for me. So I'm doubling up Norse mythology with Norse mythology. And Freya, the prompt for Freya is read a book with an animal on the cover. So you can see the wolf. Yeah, you can see the wolf in flames. So the next prompt is humans are not a common sight in Poseidon's underwater palace. Read a book with a non-human main character. I've been wanting to pick this book up since I finished the first one in March. I managed to get it finally, and it's The Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty. This is the second book in the Daevabad trilogy. It follows Nahiri, who starts off the series as a con woman from Cairo. She accidentally summons a Jinn warrior and gets taken to the city where they have their stronghold. It turns out Nahiri isn't actually human, she's actually a Jinn herself. For my Path of Beauty, this fits my featuring art prompt for Hathor, who's an Egyptian god. And you can sort of see you have art in the book. Looking forward to picking that up, and I can't wait. The next prompt for the Poseidon cabin is the ocean is vast and unexplored. Read a book that you have not heard much about before. I talked about this in my latest haul video, or the last video that I put up on my channel. This is The Chosen and the Beautiful by Nghi. This is the late night book club's pick for the month of July. I take part in that book club and I love the live shows, so I'm looking forward to picking it up. This is a new release, so I haven't really heard much about it on YouTube or on Bookstagram, at least from the people I follow. I'm looking forward to reading it. I think it's going to be an interesting book. For Path or Pantheon, this book fits Oseman's prompt, which is feminist themes. I think this book will contain feminist themes, given that the main character is a queer Vietnamese woman in America in the 1920s. I think this book will have feminist themes. At least I'm hoping it does. If not, I'm going to have to find another book that fits that prompt, but this book definitely needs to be read. The last prompt for the Olympic Games that I need to complete is Percy Jackson is named after Perseus, one of the few Greek heroes who have a happy ending. Read a book that will make you happy. I'm going to be reading I Was Born for This. I've also talked about this in my June haul. This is about a frontman for the band The Ark and a teenager who's in the Ark fandom. The frontman is called Jimmy and Angel is the girl who's in the fandom. So far, I've really loved everything that I've read by Alice Oseman, so I'm hoping this book will make me happy. I definitely need to read this for the Path of Beauty, because for the prompt for Kichijulten, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Kichijulten's prompt is featuring music. Kichijulten is the Japanese goddess of beauty. Hopefully this will make me happy, so it will work for the Olympic Games prompt. And this definitely features music because it's about a boy band. So those are the 5 main prompts for both readathons. Now, as part of the Olympic Games, once you've read the mandatory challenges, once I've read all 5 of those books, I can actually do bonus challenges. So you have other activities outside of your mandatory challenges for your cabin. Aside from those 5 books, I also get the chance to read other books that might fit. So I'm just going to show you a few of these books that will fit these prompts that I may get round to reading, and you may see in my wrap up at the end of July. So I have the books that I would like to read once I've finished those 5. These are the books that I'd definitely like to get to if I can. The first bonus challenge, if I get around to doing it, is Sword and Shield. Read a book featuring a character whom you would not get along with. The Cruel Prince. There are quite a few people in here that I would not get along with. First one, Loki. I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't read it, but I definitely would not get along with him or Valerian. So that's the first one if I get around to it. The next bonus challenge is Archery. Read a book shorter than 200 pages. So this is my Greek plays by Euripides. So the book itself is called Electra and Other Plays. I've read 3 of these 5 plays. The one that I want to pick up is Hecuba. I read plays as individuals, so for me this is about 40 pages. It's about the defeated Queen Hecuba at Troy, and it's what happens with her after she's captured by the Greeks. Looking forward to it. The next prompt is Monster Fighting. Read a book featuring magical creatures. Now, I'm hoping to read The Last Wish. So this is the first book in the Witcher series. It's about Geralt the Witcher, who is a man with magic powers enhanced by long training and a mysterious elixir. This is a collection of short stories, has a magical creature on the front. If I get round to reading that prompt, that'll be it. The next prompt that I have to fit is Pegasus Riding, a book published within the last 5 years. I'm going to be rereading Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I love this series. This is an adult romance. It's about Chloe, who is suffering from chronic pain. It's about her experiencing a near-death experience and deciding that she needs to write a list to get a life. So she writes a Get a Life list. And in order to complete some of these tasks, she teams up with her building super Red. This is just fun. I'll see if I get to it. I may not have time with all the fantasies that I have on here, but we will see. The next prompt, if I complete this bonus challenge, will be read a book that takes place on or near a body of water. I'm going to be picking up The Sea of Monsters. I've read The Lightning Thief already this year, so it's now time for The Sea of Monsters to get picked up. This follows Percy Jackson. This is his second year at Camp Half-Blood, and he goes on a quest to the Sea of Monsters. It's my annual reread of the Percy Jackson series, so picking that up. The next prompt is Climbing Wall. Read the next book in a series. I picked up The Children of Blood and Bone last year, and I bought this at my local bookshop and I haven't picked it up yet, so I am looking forward to continuing the series. This is an African-inspired fantasy. There's elemental magic. From what I've read from the author, she was inspired by Avatar, The Last Airbender. It's just really fun and I would recommend it if you like elemental magic. And finally, the last prompt for the bonus challenges, if I get around to them, is Capture the Flag. Read one of your most anticipated books. I want to read Witches Steeped in Gold. I picked this up in May. This book is a Jamaican-inspired fantasy. It follows the lives of these 2 witches on the front. Yeah, they're sworn enemies. A fierce and thrilling book where dangerous magic reigns supreme and betrayals lurk beneath every wound. So I'm looking forward to picking that up. Hopefully I actually read it. Those are all the books that I hope to get to in July. I know it's quite long. The definite 5 I have to read are the ones that I talked about first. Those are the ones I definitely have to read, whereas these last few I can just... I can pick one up, I can pick the other up, it doesn't matter. Hopefully you've enjoyed seeing all the books that I hope to get to this month. You might be laughing at me with the amount of books I have on here, but whatever. I am hopeful that I actually get to some of these ones. If I don't, then that's fine. I'd like to say thank you for watching today's video. Hopefully you liked it. If you enjoyed the video, please give the video a like and subscribe if you want to. I'll be posting more bookish content soon. If you got to the end of this video, please leave a comment telling me what book you're excited to pick up in July. That's all from me. I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!